Record. All right, it's recording. Last period, I didn't think it was recording, so I kept talking. I was like talking trash about something. So the video has a lot of extra in it. I wasn't talking trash. All right, here's the deal. We have this right here. These two inequalities, we are going to graph them. The first step is to see, hey, is it in our y equals mx plus b version? Maybe. Well, what's our y-intercept, though? You're like, there's nothing here for our b value. Oh, it's because it's 0. All right? It's just because it's 0. So yes, actually, we do have it in y equals mx plus b. Now, looking at other options we're going to see later, I look down here. We're going to do 5 later. That's not in our y equals mx plus b version, right? We'd have to move something here. Okay. We'd have to move something here in order to have it in our form that we need. So while somebody is just requested a moment to get caught up, I'm going to go and write down our steps here. They're on your notes, but they might be helpful to see again. And we're talking about plot B. Use M to get next point. All right, so we're going to do number 1. We already did 1. 2, and then this is dotted. Whoops. Solid or dashed. And then 4 is shade. You shade above if it's greater than, you shade below if it's less than, or the equal option. Okay. So we got our 4 things here. Good. And now we're going to just go in here. We're going to say, okay, well, we got it in the slope-intercept form. Now I need to plot my b, use my m to find your next point. So let's decide what those are. Here's b. 1 is my slope. Because there's 1x. There's only 1x in there. So let's go ahead and graph this. I'll do the top one in red. Y-intercept, that's our step here. Y-intercept is 0. And then I look close, and my slope is 1. That's 1 over 1. 1 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1. So remember, it's up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. And I'm getting new little guide points here to put my line down it as I need. Okay. All right. So it looks like for this one, we plotted B. We found our next points. Now, solid or dashed? Solid or dashed? What do you think about this? That's where we look to see if it's solid or dashed, right? Solid is going to be where we have an equal option. Dashed is going to be when we just have greater than or less than. So here, I better go in and be careful not to forget what I'm doing, all right? Because I need to do solid. I'm doing solid because it could be equal to the boundary. The answer could be on the boundary. These are like fences. If you're saying what point are you in your backyard, you could be standing on the fence, right? So with this, we are able to find a solution that is actually on the wall. So we put this as a solid. Now the last step, we did this. Now the last step, shade above or below. Shade above or below. We looked at this. Shade above or below. Yep, hands moving down. So watch. Here's where I just put some arrows. Okay. Good. Everyone replying is getting some good info to me. Perfect. All right. Here, we're going to have our b value. We have -1 as my slope, which is -1 over 1. Now, look, this is where someone could make a mistake because the slope was -1, but it is not -1 over -1 because that would divide to give us a positive 1. It's -1 over 1, just like any number over 1 is the same number. So keep that in mind. Anytime you end up with a negative slope, you got to remember to put a 1 on the bottom. Now, the y-intercept is the same. It's right there at the origin. But now I'm going to go down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Here. are my guide points. Okay, I look here. This tells me a lot. This little line right here tells me a lot. It was in the right form. We plotted our points. Now, solid or dashed? What you think? Solid or dashed? Baby Yoda is asking. Ah, good. Baby Yoda is happy. The force is with you. All right, let's do it. Let's make it solid. Okay. All right, we got our solid line. Now, is it shading above or below? Just give me a thumbs up if it's above, thumbs down if it's below. Yeah. Yep. All right, I'll give you a moment. Yep. Good, Melanie. Let's look. Let's read it. Y is greater than or equal to. Y is greater than. Which Y values are greater than this green line? Which way? Is greater down? Nah. The Y values that are greater than the green line are these values. So here's 0, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to shade above. I would just shade everything above if it was just this line, but now since we're dealing with two different lines, we have to think about what is in common. So this is the last question I'll ask. Are we going to shade 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which region are we going to shade as far as these lines go? All right, everyone, so far so good. Baby Yoda's happy. Good, 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 good. Shade number... All right, I don't see anybody missing it. I'm sorry, there is no 1,111,111. There's one. There we go. And that's pretty much, that one's a little confusing because it's just the B value is missing. But it doesn't matter what our line looks like. We're always going to be able to, I know. I know. We're always going to be able to use y equals mx plus b to pull out the information. Just remember that. Yeah. Sometimes when these things click, you're like, all right. Pretty easy, right? Yeah. Just go with it, man. There's nothing missing. I'm not holding stuff back. If you guys get it, you're getting it, okay? If you're not, then really focus on this one while we do number 5. But I think you can do it. I have faith in you. Let's do it. All right, this is number 5 in 2.2.2. We just did number 2. Oh, actually, I recorded this one already, so I'm going to stop my video. All right. Man? I said man. What? I'm going to pause it.